Before the holidays begin, intelligent, young noble William Twining maintains his position as the top student at his school. When the principal informs him that his tuition fee has not been paid, William returns home to ask him about his tuition fee, only to learn that they have gone bankrupt. William bursts through the door to the secret family treasury in order to pay for tuition, wounding himself in the process. His blood pours onto the ground, and a man approaches, introducing himself as Dantalion, Grand Duke of Hell, and instructing William to elect him as King of Hell. As a realist, William refuses to believe Dantalion's claims about demons and has him dragged away by the police. William returns to the treasury out of curiosity to discover Dantalion's secret, only to be pulled into Dantalion's mansion. He encounters Baphomet, the goat butler, who explains the interim king election and tries to smooth things out. The mansion collapses unexpectedly after another demon, Gilles de Rise, attacks to murder Dantalion. Gilles attempts to kidnap William instead of Dantalion since the latter was still attempting to return to Hell, but his plan was thwarted when Dantalion shows up. The two fight violently, their combined force gradually eroding the warp space that separates the human world from Hell. William, not wishing to be stranded in Hell, instructs Dantalion to stop, which Dantalion does reluctantly. After learning of William's role as Elector, Gilles departs in order to report back to his maestro. Dantalion grabs William and addresses him as Solomon, asking whether he has truly forgotten him. But William remains silent. William later returns to the human world and to school, where he discovers that his tuition has been paid by an unknown source. William is sitting in class, wondering who the mysterious donator is. William gets astonished when Dantalion enters and introduces himself as a new student. The next moment we see Isaac trying to summon a demon. He succeeds, but suddenly a demon interrupts the ritual by threatening to steal Isaac's soul if Isaac doesn't take him to the Elector. Elsewhere, Dantalion confesses that he paid William's tuition and would remain until William picks him for the throne. William refuses to be obliged to him and instead requests scholarship applications from Mycroft Swallow, a friend and fellow prefect. Reverend Crosby informs the boys that he detects an evil presence at school and cautions them to be cautious. Dantalion gains popularity among the schoolboys after joining the rugby team. He leaves Ammon and Mammon to look after William while he attends business in Hell. Citri later introduces himself to William as an underclassman, asking that his uncle be William's patron through Isaac. Determined to get rid of Citri, Isaac attempts to summon an angel but instead summons a demonic boar instead. Citri kills it, exposing his actual nature, and introduces himself as the Viscount and 12th Noble of Hell, as well as one of Lucifer's candidates. Citri takes Isaac in order to force William's hand, but is prevented by Dantalion. The two demons fight until William forces them to stop, reminding Citri of Solomon. William, still unconcerned with his job as Elector, departs with Isaac, leaving Dantalion and Citri alone. Citri points out that, despite being Solomon's reincarnation, William does not possess the ring, which represents Solomon's wisdom and his contract with the Pillars. Isaac is pleased with William's status as Elector and a descendant of Solomon and informs him that he will remain at school. Elsewhere, at William's manor, Kevin opens a box containing the ring that formerly belonged to Solomon. Pastor Crosby learns of Lucifer's nominees for the position of interim ruler of Hell and sets out to exorcise them. Dantalion and Citri, who are becoming increasingly popular among their peers, continue to enjoy school life at Stratford, much to William's chagrin. William visits the church and asks Crosby if he can exorcise demons. However, he does not mention Dantalion and Citri's identities to him. Later, William instructs Dantalion to stay well away from him, but the latter warns him that his commands will only work on Solomon's 72 pillars and that other demon will attack him. Upon listening to this, William gets astonished and afraid at the same time. Dantalion is also enraged when William cannot recall him from his previous life. William, Isaac, and Citri go into the forest at night to look into a report that a ghost is said to haunt their dorm. They found that it is actually a low-level demon working for Crosby. The demon then entices them to the church in order to undermine Citri's abilities so that he can be killed. Crosby and Citri engaged in a battle, but Citri is not a match for Crosby. Just then Dantalion also arrives there. When Dantalion promises to save Citri if William asks, he declines since he doesn't trust Dantalion. Crosby warns Dantalion that, despite William's humanity, he will kill him because of his position as Elector. Dantalion and Crosby begin fighting. Dantalion easily overcomes Crosby, but is unable to finish him off when William tells him to halt. While William chooses to no longer reject the existence of demons, Crosby flees to inform his organization, the Hand of God, about William's predicament. The following day, William gets taken aback when the headmaster announces Kevin, William's servant, as the school's new priest. When William attempts to speak with Kevin, Kevin requests that William keep his distance now that he is working at Stratford. Kevin's frigid behavior astounds William, but he grants his wish. Later that night, William and Maria Mullins, the dormitory mother, confront 3 lads who shattered a window. The following day, Williams overhears the boys discussing breaking into Maria's room in order to obtain something with which to blackmail her, much to his annoyance. He observes Nathan Caxton, the head boy, acting suspiciously in Maria's room while skipping boating classes. After hearing a crash shortly after, William storms into her room where he discovers a magic circle painted on the floor. When Nathan uses his ability to protect Maria from a flying broken oar during the boat race, he reveals to Dantalion and William that he is a demon. In the evening, Citri tells William that Maria used the doorway to hell to call a demon and make a deal with it. When the demon tries to harm Maria, Nathan in his demon form intervenes to protect her. When Dantalion shows up, he informs everyone that Nathan is actually Cameo, a half-demon who was born of a human woman, one of Solomon's pillars, and a potential heir to Lucifer's reign. When Maria succumbs to her lung disease, Cameo, and she reminisces about their earlier times and her dream to become a demon, Dantalion suggests to Cameo that Maria should pass away as a human rather than turning into a Nephilim. Cameo chooses to stay at the school on Maria's advice so that he won't be left alone after she passes away. Before Maria leaves Stratford to begin her medical treatment, the 3 youths who broke into her room stop by and offer their condolences for stealing an old photograph of her and Cameo. William continues to be unconcerned about the election for the interim ruler of Hell and focuses only on his study and tuition, carrying on with life at school. Cameo informs William that an old water mill behind the headmaster's house is about to be demolished to make way for a new building at the school, and he desires him to grasp the students who have been causing a commotion at night with an odd song before the school's chairman arrives to inspect the construction. William accepts the task, hoping that it will help him with his tuition if he can gain the headmaster's favor. Dantalion is bothered by the fact that William appears to favor Cameo, and has a fight with him over the election and how William continues to refuse to rely on him. Following that, William, Isaac, and Citri visit the ancient mill but leave after Isaac is scared by the rustlings in the forest. However, Dantalion pays a visit to his guardian, Astaroth, to discuss Cameo, and she cautions him that he should be more concerned about another powerful person close to William. William and Isaac awaken in the middle of the night to the sound of singing and discover a goblin-like monster hiding in the mill. Citri explains that the creature is a Kilmulis, a fairy who must mill grains or die. As a remedy, William sends the Kilmulis to India to work at Isaac's father's tea and spices plant, but is dissatisfied that he is not rewarded for his efforts. Later that evening, Dantalion approaches Kevin about his true identity, boasting that he will reveal all of the left's secrets. Still stung by Kevin's distant behavior, Isaac convinces a distraught William to invite Kevin to family day at school so that they can chat. During the event, Mycroft requests permission from William to take the day off in order to avoid meeting with his father, Adrian Swallow, due to the stress of being transferred to a military school following his father's near-fatal accident. When Adrian invites William to dinner, he slightly disturbs the latter, but Kevin intervenes before William can accept. Mycroft invites William to his manor to meet his family at the request of his parents. Dantalion and Citri accompany William to protect him, despite the fact that they have no intention of interfering with Beelzebub's affairs in accordance with demon law. William falls asleep at the manor's party and awakens to find Adrian's corpse possessed by the demon Oligos, one of Solomon's pillars and Beelzebub's servant. Oligos attempts to assassinate William for her employer, but Dantalion saves him. When Citri and Mycroft enter the chamber, Oligos intends to seize Mycroft's soul because she realizes she is outnumbered. William wishes to save Mycroft, but Citri interrupts him and says that according to the rules of Hell, Oligos has the legal authority to take Mycroft's soul, and they can't stop her. Dantalion offers to save Mycroft if William chooses him to rule Hell, but Rhaegal, an exorcist, and Kevin's servant enter and try to exorcise Oligos. William and Kevin reconcile after returning to school. Later that day, when speaking to Rhaegal, Kevin is revealed to be the Archangel Uriel, who begs him to leave the school. Kevin, on the other hand, is determined to stay so that the demons do not take Solomon's soul. Beelzebub cautions Cameo that things have changed now that the latter's identity has been known, but Cameo responds that he is now interested in the covenants he and Dantalion made with Solomon many years ago. Likewise, Stratford is putting on a production of Hamlet, directed by William, with Dantalion as Claudius and Citri as Ophelia. Later, Gilles de Rise arrives at the school to tell Dantalion and Citri that they must attend the annual Great Sabbat in Hell, which the 4 kings will also attend. At the party, it revealed that Cameo is revealed to be Lucifer's offspring, with power exceeding that of the 4 kings. In an effort to steal Solomon's soul, Citri's uncle Balvarus sends a swarm of demons to the land of humans to kill William. Dantalion has a memory flashback involving Solomon and recalls that Solomon had wished to die at Dantalion's hands one day. Aemon tells Dantalion of Balberith's scheme. Citri, Dantalion, and Baphomet hurry to protect William, who continues to refuse to elect anybody to Lucifer's throne. When a demon was about to strike William, Kevin's barrier appeared and surrounded Dantalion, constraining his powers and causing him to go mad. Cameo arrives to halt Dantalion and orders the demons to leave before he can kill William. Following that, William dismisses what transpired with Dantalion in order to assuage the latter's guilt. On the night of the performance, William is forced to play Hamlet and chastises Dantalion and Citri for destroying the play with their antics. Archangel Michael pays a visit to Kevin at school and demands to know why he allows William to wander freely when he knows the demons are chasing his soul. Michael acts as Elliot Eden, a student at the school, in order to monitor William and boldly challenges William to take first place on an upcoming exam. Initially irritated by him, William subsequently meets and befriends Michael in the library. Dantalion, on the other hand, is dubious of Elliot, sensing that he has too much light. During the exam, Michael uses his abilities to transfer notes from another student's desk to William's, accusing him of cheating and sending him to the punishment room to await his trial. While there, Isaac and Cameo pay him a visit, with the latter volunteering his assistance in proving William's innocence. Michael comes to see William that night, debating whether he should go to heaven or hell, but is driven away by Kevin's entrance. Michael sends William and Isaac to another realm during the trial and prepares to execute ecstasy on William in order to turn him into heaven's pawn. Dantalion enters and fights Michael, who reminds the former that he knew Dantalion when he was human and mocks him for his previous harshness. Dantalion becomes angry upon listening to this and unleashes his power. He eventually defeats Michael. Just when he is going to kill Michael, Kevin arrives and stops him. Michael returns to heaven, and William is found innocent thanks to Cameo's assistance at the trial. In hell, Balberith advises Gilles de Rise that Lucifer may not awaken from his sleep, and Astaroth plots to send William to hell to protect him from heaven. Michael dispatches his best soldier, Jean d'Arc, to hell to serve as a distraction so that Kevin can execute the ecstasy ceremony on William. While searching for Kevin in his room, William discovers his family ring, which reminds him of his parents' deaths and how Kevin consoled him after their funeral. When Kevin arrives, he sends William aside to speak with Michael about Heaven's plan to entice the demons away from William, and the latter threatens to take the former's remaining wing if he fails to obtain Solomon's soul. William sneaks the ring out and rushes into Dantalion, Citri, and Cameo outside. They notify him that they are returning to hell to deal with an issue and advise him to be cautious while they are gone. While Jean fights the demons on the battlefield, Kevin attempts to complete the ritual but discovers that William opposes it, because William believes in science, not in God. Gilles de Rise, who has been assigned to protect William, rushes to stop Kevin but is stopped by Rhaegal. Gilles displays his full contempt for heaven and its angels, as they were the ones who used his dear Jean as a pawn. Rhaegal informs Gilles that Jean is in hell, but Gilles disregards the information and expresses his intention to contaminate Jean in order to liberate her from the joy of heaven. Kevin offers to stop the ritual on William in order to save Rhaegal. Gilles, on the other hand, pushes in to kill both of them. But suddenly Dantalion arrives there and defeats Gilles. While Dantalion orders Ammon and Mammon to return Gilles to hell, Kevin reveals his failure to Michael. Despite his readiness to accept Uriel's final wing, Michael insists on Uriel's departure, concerned that he is fading from existence. As part of its curriculum, Stratford is hosting their annual culture fair on campus, when students set up stalls and compete for the most brooches. Dantalion and Isaac start their own booth after seeing how well Citri's stand is doing, and both of them become increasingly popular. However, William, who wants to utilize this as an opportunity to collect money for his tuition and improve his grades, is unable to come up with a festival plan. Manipulating Dantalion and the others, William devises a clever strategy to use them as workers for his cafe. Soon after, he is contacted in human form by Baphomet and Citri's butler, Leonard, and requested to judge the butler's cooking competition. Much to Leonard's chagrin, Baphomet has been crowned the victor. Following that, William assigns Baphomet and Leonard to work as cafe chefs. Despite the success of William's cafe, Cameo is declared the winner of the Culture Festival. Following the failure of his previous plan, Michael speaks with Uriel to plan their next approach to obtaining Solomon's soul. The four kings of hell unanimously agree to bring William to hell to protect him from heaven, so they assign Astaroth with the task with bring William to them. Lamia enters Stratford, dragged by her mother Astaroth, and delivers William to a conference of Citri, Cameo, the four kings, and other aristocratic demons. A demon attacks William in wrath because of his casual attitude toward the election for the temporary king. But Dantalion, as always, arrives at the right moment and defends him. William, who slips the ring onto his finger, forcing Solomon's soul to take over his body. While Michael and Kevin are watching from heaven, Solomon effortlessly repels the demons and utilizes his God-given power to practically obliterate hell. Solomon has forgotten who Dantalion is. William orders him to not interfere with his battle against Balbrith and the other demons. Dantalion, unable to oppose him, he tried to stop William but is crushed down by Solomon's powers. Solomon took over the kingdom of Israel after crushing his father's army sent to murder him. Despite Solomon's kindness to his father, David refused to recognize him as his son and cursed him, much to Solomon's chagrin. Soon after, Solomon wanted to die at the hands of Dantalion. Dantalion regains consciousness and saves Balbrith from destruction by Solomon, urging William to remember who he is in order to break Solomon's influence. Lucifer awakens and talks with Solomon, who then allows Dantalion to remove his ring and relinquish power over William. The voting for the interim king is postponed since Lucifer is awake, and William is returned to the human realm. Nevertheless, William is devastated to hear that no one at the school except him and Kevin. He misses Dantalion, Citri, and Cameo. On his way out of the church after visiting Kevin, Solomon's ring falls from his pocket and is picked up by Dantalion, who grins and asks William to take proper care of it. That is it for today. If you enjoyed the video, please like the video and subscribe to the channel.